Mike Bohn, joined today by the great Wiz Khalifa, who, among his many other roles, is part of the PFL ownership group, man. And we're halfway through the regular season here. We're getting ready for the back half, June 10th, June 17th, June 25th. And it's exciting times right now, man. Just tell me what it feels like to see this company grow. And how did, I guess, first of all, you get involved with the PFL?
It's fun. It's awesome seeing the company grow. I first got involved just by going to the gym. I train at this spot called Unbreakable. It's a gym off of Sunset. It's owned by Jay Glazer, and the whole team down there kind of just accepted me and taught me a lot about my physical health and about the fight game as well. And just through traveling and meeting a lot of different people, a lot of opportunities came up. And then now we're with the PFL, and it's been a great season. The reaction has been really really good, and I even know a lot of fighters who just throughout the season have been considering coming over and talking to me like, yo, this is something that I would really want to do. So it's been great, bro.
Yeah, and of course, what they do is very unique compared to some of the other MMA organizations out there. And I definitely want to talk to you about your training and stuff a little bit more. But I guess just first of all, like, did someone from that side approach you? Did you see what the product was doing and say like, hey, that's something I'd like to be involved with? What was the, I guess, initial connection?
Yeah, they approached me. It was more or less they were coming up and just seeing how the game was changing and seeing the real players who were involved in it, and they looked at me as a special key player, not only in the fight game but just in the entertainment world as well. And they we all feel like we have something to offer.
That's awesome. So, like, what do you kind of think of their model of promoting fights? I mean, it's the season format, the $1 million at the end, playoffs, a final, and everything. It's kind of a more of a traditional sports model as opposed to, just one fight here and there and kind of working your way towards a championship. However, you may be, matchmakers in terms of like winning this fight or being a big name. It's kind of more of a traditional sports model.
I love it. It gives the fighters an opportunity to come up, gain popularity, also gain money and get some money, and gain notoriety for what they're really good for. I love the fact that it's based off of a point system, so it's very very accurate as to who deserves to win and who doesn't. And when the top tier fights and the pay-per-views come, everybody's going to be excited because they've seen the people who get their grind to that level. And also, the $1 million is amazing because there's only been a handful of professional fighters in any MMA organization that have fought for over $1 million. So this just gives people an opportunity to really the athletes, the fighters, an opportunity to get the money for what they train for, and they're putting their bodies on the line. They're learning sick techniques and things like that. They deserve to compete and get some money as well.
And I was talking with Peter Murray today, who's obviously one of the execs over there, and he said that you're not just like a face for this. You're actually involved. He truly values your opinion and your feedback and everything. So I guess just tell me, like, what is your level of involvement in terms of the behind the scenes?
Behind the scenes, we just keep everything moving when it comes to the players or the fighters, when it comes to the music, when it comes to setting up the events and things like that, when it comes to promoting the events and actually, keeping people excited and tuned in. We're tapped into all of that, and it's really a family thing because it's not just an organization where it's a lot of names and billboards for the company. It's people out here really grinding, really working and putting it down and trying to grow this company. It's grown a lot within the past 2 or 3 years, and we plan on taking it to the top. We just got to deal with ESPN and ESPN Plus, so it's going to be going crazy.
Yeah, and what have you thought about the product so far this season? I mean, of course, we had to do the year long break during 2020 and everything, but you look at what these three shows they've done so far. I think the production value is as good as anything I've ever seen in MMA, and it really comes across like a really strong, professional, polished product right now.
Yeah, it's really, really good. The fighters are taking it up there too. It's really entertaining. There was a lot of finishes in the last fight. There's a lot of knockouts, a lot of so it's keeping it entertaining. And like you said, just the production's all the way up there. We got Claressa Shields about to fight really soon. She's crossing over from boxing into MMA. This is gonna be her first fight, so that's super duper exciting. And the more stuff that we could do like that, I feel like, we'll gain popularity as well as put on great shows.
Yeah. So what do you kind of see as the future? I mean, of course, this is slowly building. We're only a couple seasons into the actual PFL when it switched over from being the World Series of Fighting. So kind of what's your vision for what this can ultimately become as we move forward into future seasons?
I love the fact that it's an alternative to what's already out there. People deserve to be able to make a decision, what they want to not only watch, but where they want to fight. And the fighters who don't have contracts and want to keep going and gain that notoriety, I see them coming over to the PFL and becoming huge superstars. I see a lot of fans, tapping in. I see a lot of people from different sports crossing over into the PFL. I see celebrities and entertainers. I see everything, man. It's countless possibilities for it.
Yeah, it's crazy just what we're seeing across combat sports as a whole, such an evolution and so many unique kind of crossovers and things like that. How did you really get into, being a MMA fan? Like, were you a boxing guy first and then MMA started to pique your interest, or what was kind of your first memory of being an MMA fan?
I always loved boxing coming up, just like old school boxing and even the boxing of the time during the 90s. And it kind of slowed down in the 2000s when I got a little bit older, but that's when MMA really picked up. And my cousins, they actually do jujitsu. So through their training in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that's kind of where I started to learn, the actual techniques and the moves and the rules and things like that. So that happened before I started training. And I kind of just went into training naturally, and I've been doing it for the past 5 years now, and it kind
Hmm.
of
I think
does it.
we lost your audio there for a sec.
Hold on, I'm gonna leave and come back because my phone rang. I'm sorry.
Okay, no
Oh,
worries.
no, we good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, yeah, no, I was saying for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been training consistently, um, based off of just my cousins putting me in the gym, like throwing me in there, like, yo, all right, cool, it's time to work, and yeah, I never looked back.
That's awesome. So, like, as far as the training, I mean, like, how often are you training?
I train 5 days a week.
Wow, that's
Yep.
pretty amazing. And are you
We
doing pretty much every kind of discipline, or is it mostly jiu-jitsu? Or are you doing striking, wrestling, pretty much
It's
everything?
it's mostly stand up, a lot of striking, a lot of Muay Thai and Taekwondo, a lot of wrestling and some jujitsu, and I'm just expanding as I go.
So, I mean, of course, that leads to the natural question, which I'm sure you've been asked before. Do you have any interest in one day ever getting in there yourself?
I definitely have interest in doing it myself. I'm gonna keep it clean as one of the owners now, and I'm gonna just take the steps. But I'm always training, and if the opportunity presents itself and it's something that's fun and could be good for everybody, I don't see why not.
I mean, it wouldn't be, I guess, super out of the ordinary with things we're seeing right now. I mean, we're seeing like social media influencers, we're seeing actors, like all these different people, whether it's boxing or MMA, get involved. So does that kind of, maybe perk your interest even more and say, like, look at all these other people doing it. If they can do it, why can't I?
I look at them and I think it's really entertaining and fun, and I think they got a lot of balls for doing it. I just respect it and I love it. It doesn't make me more antsy or anything, but just for the entertainment side and for the sports side of it, I love watching everything.
That's great. And I know you mentioned Claressa Shields, and she is someone who's doing something pretty unique. I mean, we're seeing it right now where, some MMA fighters going over and, boxing the likes of Jake Paul or something like that. But
Right.
Claressa's doing it the opposite way. She's going from the highest level of boxing and coming into MMA and doing it the right way, training with the right team, like full on committing to that when I know maybe she doesn't have to. She could have kept cruising in her lane and being, extraordinary at boxing. So what do you just kind of make of this crossover for her and how much guts and kind of ambition she's showing by making this move?
I love it. She's a real fighter. She's talented. She got hands, of course, but to go into MMA and to learn different techniques and to apply that same tenacity, and she's going to have some strong points. And when she gets in there, she's going to be able to execute just based off of her athleticism. Before she's an Olympic gold medalist, so when she comes in, she's coming in hard.
Yeah, and in your mind, this is like kind of the future, right? Like there's going to be people coming from every which way, and MMA seems to be, the sport of kind of the future going forward. I mean, obviously boxing has its place, but there's so much hype around the sport. There's so many different elements of it just exploding, and it seems like that's kind of the place to be for these crossovers as well.
Yeah, everybody's loving MMA. It's a lot to it, like you said. When it's time to cross over, you could do one thing, but you come over there, it's a different world, and it's fun. Everybody loves it.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as the back half of the season, is there anything else you're really excited for? Any particular fighter, anything like that? I know Claressa, this is a kind of a big moment for the company and for her personally, but is there anything else out there that really you're keeping your eye on and really looking forward to?
I'm excited for everybody. I don't like to call anybody out in particular, but I talk to them all on social media. I'm in contact with the fighters and the other owners, and I just excited to see how everything develops, and see who's going to be our new champ this year. And as things open up, we're going to have way more opportunities to do more and more, get the crowd back in there. So I'm just looking forward to the future of the league in general.
And what do you think there is in terms of a crossover with like entertainment and combat sports? We've seen in the past there's been like musical performance at events and things like that. Do you think maybe that's anything we could ever see in the future? Maybe you doing some performing at a PFL event or something like that?
Absolutely. The music and the curation of the whole event is really, really important. So to tie that in, have it all be a vibe is definitely a goal of ours, for not only just for our entertainment, but for the fans. We want to give them something to look forward to. And dope musical performances, or just people in general tapping in, is definitely part of the plan.
Have you ever thought if you did one day fight, what your walkout song would be?
It would have to be Black and Yellow. there's no way around it.
Yeah, that's got to be the one, right? No doubt.
Yep.
Awesome, man. Well, that's really great. Is there anything else that you kind of want to say about the product and your involvement that maybe we didn't touch on in particular that you think the people should know, or that's kind of important from what your perspective is?
No, I think we got it, man. I appreciate you taking your time, and I just can't wait for the rest of the season.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it. As I said off the top, I think PFL is doing some really good things. I think it's cool they have people like yourself who are involved, and not just being out there as kind of a face who's not super involved in it. It seems like you're truly passionate about it and you really care, because I'm sure infinite opportunities come your way to get involved with things like this, and it seems like you really care about this.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys as well. Thank you, man.
Awesome. That's great. Have a great day, man. Thank you so much for the time.
You too. Take care, bro.